Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Optimism Fractal. We're here in our fifth season, and I believe our 52nd event. And I'm very pleased to be here with Abraham, Rosmari, Will, and Harvesto. We've been having some great discussions, and we're excited to play a respect game and have lots of updates here. So, hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show and the event. If anyone wants to say hello or do whatever you like to do in the beginning, then feel free. And I have a little presentation about Optimism Fractal and what we'll be doing today that I'll jump into momentarily as well.
Yeah, baby. Let's see that beautiful Optimism Fractal footage.
All right, there we go. We'll bring the excitement from Tulum, I hear. All right, so we're going to play some Optimistics games here. So check out the tweet from Optimistics. As always, like and share and retweet. And check out optimismfractal.com to learn more about this community that's dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. We host events that everyone's welcome to join. You can explore a lot on the website about the events and everything that's going on that's rooted from the events. So these events on Thursday at 17 UTC provide a perfect place to network and make friends and collaborate with amazing builders on the Superchain. And at each event, we play the Respect game. It's a game where each person shares what they've been doing to help optimism over the past week, collaborates to rank each other's contributions and reach consensus, and then receives a soul-bound non-transferable respect token, which can be used for all sorts of great purposes. You can learn more about the respect game and the events on the website, of course, as well as find all the videos. So we record videos of each event. Everybody's welcome to join and take the stage, share what they're doing to help optimism, and also to watch the videos too, and to share lots of great educational content about building and optimism. And we're building tools too. So we're building the Optimistics Toolkit and generally fractal apps that communities can use to play the Respect game and make decisions with the Respect token. So you can learn more at optimistics.io/tools and from the Optimism Fractal website. Optimism Fractal is an excellent place to develop your on-chain career and business. It provides a perfect opportunity for growth for individuals or organizations or business that are looking to grow on Ethereum and on the Superchain. You can grow your reputation by earning the Respect token, learn more about how it's permanently recorded in the OP mainnet. Check out the article to learn more. And you can enjoy the harvest, all the fractal fruits too. There's a lot of great benefits that you can explore on the website. There's all sorts of links you can learn about and lots of heartfelt feedback that we've received from people who have joined the events and watched the videos and so forth that we're very appreciative. And you can find more about that on the links. We are building in public, as always, each week in our weekly events. And we also have a Notion site as well where we're organizing tasks. And we also have decentralized or repositories where we're building all these tools and processes in an open source and way that anyone can get involved with. And you can earn funding too. Lots of opportunities for funding in the Ethereum ecosystem and the Optimism Collective, such as retro funding. You can learn more on the website to see how you can get involved and earn funding, earn income by making a positive impact on the future of the internet. And as I mentioned previously, too, we're also pioneering the future of governance. We're pioneering the future of governance with a revolutionary process called fractal democracy. We have protocol specifications that tie into the respect game and the respect token that show how you can get involved. We have a rich history where you can learn more about how this process has evolved over the past several years. And you can also get involved with the Sages Council too. If you want to help lead the community, anyone with respect can help do so by making proposals and by approving proposals, joining the Sages Council, which you can learn more about here. And also the fractal apps that you can use for your community or the fractal apps that we use for decentralized governance on chain. You can learn more on the website, as well as our respect-based role allocation with HATS protocol, the Optimism Town Hall event where people can vote on topics with respect, and various impact evaluation experiments. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by Optimistics. It's been running for over a year now, since October 2023. And you can also find lots more educational resources both at optimistics.io and edenfractal.com, which is a community that's kind of been fostering the growth and stewarding Optimism Fractal to an extent. And we are building the Superchain together. So if you're not familiar with the Superchain, it's an interconnected network of blockchains scaling Ethereum on the OP stack, working with OP mainnet, Base, World, Sonium, Inc., Unichain, many other great networks and great builders building on Ethereum together, which you can learn more about at optimism.io. The best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join the weekly events on Thursdays at 17 EDC, play the respect game, share what you've been doing. Feel free to introduce yourself, whether you're new or an experienced builder. And you can also check out the governance forum, gov.optimism.io, to follow our progress in Optimism Season 5, as well as our past events too. This year, or this season, we're bringing out the competitive spirit with respect games. And yeah, you can find out all sorts of great highlights, like the new software that we're using and all the things we're building here, as well as the previous seasonal threads to catch what's been going on here at Optimism Fractal. Encourage you to join each event as well as share with friends. We love to meet more people and do the fractal nature. As many people can enjoy the respect game as wanted. And you can register at lu.mas/optimistics for the Optimism Fractal events, as well as the town hall events and other events that the Optimistics team presents. And you can watch all the videos at optimismfractal.com/videos, such as the Regen Sports Culture and Governance Gamers and so forth that we've been doing over the past year. So encourage you to watch. You can also find timestamps there and descriptions and show notes. And these are also on the Eden Careers YouTube channel, which is the team that publishes these videos, and lots of great content you can find here about Optimism Fractal and related stuff. Some quick community news sections. So last week at the Optimism Town Hall event, we did some planning for Optimism Fractal and the Town Hall, and there's now a video you can watch about that, as long as an article with lots of details. I had made some proposals. We had lots of great community ideas and feedback here. And one of the proposals was to switch up Optimism Fractal to a bi-weekly schedule in 2025. So there's no proposal for that yet, but I'm thinking about making that. Maybe that's something we discuss more after the spec game, but you can learn more in this article and the video where we discussed this from last week. Thanks everybody for the participation and great discussions that we had so far. And on that note, there is an Optimism Town Hall event scheduled for right after the respect game, where we'll be continuing our optimistic journey. And there's several topics on the agenda. So we're going to be doing OP topics again, as was approved. And right now there's 10 topics here that you can see on the right side. So feel free to change your votes or make votes if there's anything in particular you want to discuss. There's also an article where you can learn more about each of these topics. Quick reminder, anybody can use the tools. They're all open source. So if you want to empower your community with the respect game, then check out the Optimistics Toolkit. And with that being said, let's go ahead and play the respect game, where builders meet, collaborate, and earn recognition through peer consensus. So I think everybody here is familiar with it, but if you're not, you can learn more on the website. Basically, the way it's going to work is each participant's going to take up to 4 minutes to share their recent contributions to optimism, and generally share what they think is helpful to share during the 4 minutes. And then we're going to work to rank each other's contributions from most helpful to second most helpful, third most helpful, fourth most helpful, and so forth. And then we're going to signal our consensus on chain. And then each person will receive respect, with people getting higher levels, earning more respect. So you can learn more about this at optimismfractal.com/welcome. And feel free to share your screen, to share your links, to do things on the screen. There's a bunch of good stuff you could do. So I think everybody here knows it though. So thanks all for being here once again. I hope that everybody has a wonderful time with the respect game. A lot of times when we have more people, we'll head up into breakout groups, but today we have the 5 of us here, so we'll just stick in this room. And if anybody wants to lead us and share any thoughts on your mind, or go ahead and share your contributions for the week, then the floor is now open, and very curious to hear what everybody will share.
Well, I can go first. I have no problem with that.
Sounds great. Thanks, Will.
All right, put me on the clock, good sir or
Okay.
ma'am, whoever's
So
going
we
to do
do
it.
5?
Oh
So
yeah,
we do
okay.
5?
5 is okay with me.
Okay.
I'm good with 5.
Okay. Are you pulling up? Rosmari got the clock ready.
All right. So for those that don't know, my name is Will T, and I'm coming to you live from my comfortable confines in Tulum, Mexico, which I highly recommend for everybody to experience at least once and for more than a couple days. Anyways, what have I done good for the Optimism ecosystem? Well, I'm going to talk more about the Superchain ecosystem, which Optimism is a part of, because a lot of the organizations that I interact with on a weekly basis are based in the Superchain ecosystem and not just specific to Optimism. So let's start with Let's Grow DAO. Let's Grow DAO work this week, not as heavy as it has been, probably only about 2.5 hours. I'm on my mobile right now, so I can't share a screen, but that's okay. So about 2.5 hours of work this week, just doing some wrap-ups from an event that we had last week in X Spaces, and then also just participating in the DAO core member calls, which is all of the founders, basically. From there, Let's Grow DAO sponsored or co-sponsored the event that I helped co-host last night. I'll get into the event itself in a minute. But yeah, just making sure everything from a marketing perspective, branding perspective, all the assets were curated from the art department of Let's Grow DAO to be able to be on display last night. We also had, before that event that I'm going to talk about here in a moment, we also had a law and activation event specific to KF Media. So KF Media has a lot of smart contracts that we've deployed through our history on Optimism, but we also have some on other chains within the Superchain ecosystem as well. So yeah, did some work wallet activation events yesterday with KF Media to expand our community to be more inclusive of Latin American communities. And we do this through a partnership with our Latin American leaders that are carrying the message forward to us, to their community members, getting them excited about it, and then getting them to participate. So this was our first in that program called Pathways for Latam, or in Espanol, Caminos para Latam. And yeah, it's really good to have these in-person wallet activation events because you can do live on the spot troubleshooting, which we learned last night is very helpful for a lot of these people if they're having some challenges. So, and it's a lot easier to do it than like in a group meeting setting like this format. So yeah, that was really cool. We got to talk all about the program. We got to talk about KF Media. We got to give people a preview of the Learning Center. So that was pretty awesome as well. Now, as far as the other event that I helped co-host last night, that was a pizza party. We call it Pizza ZAMA. ZAMA is a term that comes from the Mayan culture, right? And it's pretty common here in the localized region. So that being said, we had a pizza party, but more than a pizza party, we had a Welcome to Web3 event. And we activated over 30 wallets, which I thought was pretty incredible considering the weather, because the weather was not in our favor because it rained quite a bit here. And I've learned that the people here in Tulum, they don't like to go outdoors or to out when it's raining. So but the success rate of like attendees to wallet activations was absolutely incredible. The reason why we're doing this is because Let's Grow DAO co-sponsored this. There were some other Pizza DAO obviously sponsored it because we had to get funding from them to activate the event by providing the pizzas for the event. And then additionally, Unlock Protocol, who just recently moved their governance token onto Base. So there's another super chain tie-in there. They were Unlock DAO specifically. They were one of the other co-sponsors. So we got all the signage together. We got all the posters. We got all the promotional materials together. We even got little stickers that we placed on side of just like blank canvas notebooks so people could write down their seed phrases if they wanted to. Our wallet of choice was the Coinbase DeFi wallet, which there are some challenges with that as well, interacting with what we did. So we've got a lot learned from that. But we did get an invite from the organizers of Tulum Crypto Fest to continue this process throughout the weekend during the whole conference. So it's going to become more expansive. There's going to be a lot more engagement and interaction as we go through the week. And I guess that's my time, but I just want to say if you haven't done a group in-person wallet activation event before, you should try it out because it is a very positive experience and it just absolutely filled my heart to see so many new entries coming into Web3. And I'm going to pick on, oh, thank you so much. I'm going to pick on Mr. Abraham, or as I like to call him, Bram, because he hasn't been here for a while. And I want to hear what he's been up to.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, I have been very busy with some other stuff, particularly this project with it's called Fight for Our Funds, where over 4,000 people were kind of scammed by some bank failures, and they've lost over $40 million, and I was one of those people. So I've been trying to help with that site as well. And so that's taken a little bit of my time. I'm trying to build an organization there. But I have been working in the shadows. One of the things that I had worked on was was linking up with Tadas and trying to get that last leg integrated. So I have arrived at what is causing the issues that are preventing me from linking directly to ORDAO. So I've just got to get some time to put those together. And I should have the last leg where we can just submit without having to copy and paste. So that'll be a big thing that's coming up. The most exciting news is
As you probably know, I've been looking for some new employment and just trying to work my way into the crypto space with all the experience that I have. Specifically, I used to work for a government agency called the National Center for Biotechnology Information, and I helped with scientific research there. And I was responsible for categorizing and archiving data, specifically scientific articles, mainly life sciences. So that actually led me to apply to Research Hub. And they're trying to do some really great stuff with just kind of optimizing the flow of scientific research and trying to help people get their stuff published faster and get funding. So in that application process, I ended up getting in contact yesterday with two of the leaders there, Tyler and Patrick, and I had a really good conversation with Patrick, who's leading the effort, and we were talking about the various things that I have done. Um, and one of them, it came up. He's like, "Well, what's this Optimism Fractal on your LinkedIn profile?" And I was like, "Well, this is a really cool community that has been built." And I just kind of described to him how the respect token works, and he was excited about just hearing. Um, the process of actually getting a group of people to agree on capital allocation or just respect allocation and then having that lead to capital allocation or something like that. It could be really helpful in the peer review process and also in the funding rounds. So that was really nice to see. He was like really excited about it, and so I hope that similar to Unbound Science, where they were kind of thinking about a similar idea where we're just trying to develop some kind of consensus around people's participation and their expertise. So really exciting stuff there. I do have a follow up with them probably in the next week or two to try to drill more into what their programming needs are and stuff like that. And then I've got some other irons in the fire. I also am working with Eric on trying to help him modify the application for his dissertation and just make it available so that lots of anonymous people can also play the respect game. So lots of cool stuff going on there. And of course, the holiday season, the time's short, but I'm definitely I've still got some small tasks in the queue, and then probably some larger tasks in the new year, as far as just trying to make the Fractally application work for organizations, and there's quite a few features that I want to put into it. So exciting stuff, and yeah, more to come.
Awesome to hear. Well, thanks so much, Abraham. Thanks so much, Will. That fascinating stuff. I was doing some research into Research Hub as well, and that seems like a really amazing experiment and, well, not just experiment, but amazing initiative that's going on. So excited to hear your next steps about that, as well as everything else you've been working on. You still had maybe almost a minute left, so if you wanted to add any other detail, then feel free, or you can pick somebody to go next whenever you're ready, Abraham, as well.
I guess the only thing that I could probably add is just when I worked at the National Institute of Health, we had I noticed that the peer review process, basically they're trying to vet whether the scientific research is valuable, valid, reproducible, et cetera. And the way that they do that right now is mainly based on publication. So if you've never published before, you really are at a disadvantage. And also, if you are publishing works that are maybe a little counter to what the accepted norms are, as good science often is, it's really tough to get recognized and to get funding. So, what Research Hub is aiming to do is to really optimize that process by providing, like maybe even quadratic funding, kind of to make sure that there are funding opportunities for people who have potential. So that's a really exciting thing, and the process of getting your journal article funded is a long and arduous process, and even to release it, to publish an article in a scientific journal, even the cheapest ones are like, I think, cost around $4,000 just for the publishing fee, and they can be up to $10,000 or $15,000 if you're publishing in a really expensive journal. So it's like the publishers are really, they're providing a service where they're providing editorial services, but it's a kind of a little bit of an antiquated system. So, there's a lot of room for growth, a lot of room for optimization. And I know that, a lot of really great research is going to come out of this. There's several organizations that are, obviously in the DeSci space and working hard to make it work. So it's really exciting to see that taking shape and trying to see how that fits in with, with consensus voting and that sort of thing. So let's see. How about I will pick on Rosmari.
Thank you. I will set the timer. And share screen. So this past week, I was traveling. So it wasn't a full week for me. But I edited the Optimism Fractal and the Optimism Town Hall videos from last week. They'll be published anytime soon. They're timestamped now with the help of a friend. And they're coming out soon, so stay tuned. I helped to promote the events happening this week. I put one promotion yesterday for the 3 events. And this is the second part of the tweet. And one other promotion for today's Optimism Fractal event. I made this image with the help of Dan, because it was in collaboration. He made this image beforehand and I used it. And this is the second part of the tweet here, just linking to the videos that we have. And I think actually just to kind of make a point with what Abraham said, that the Research Hub is looking for to enable, where a lot of people are documenting their research or publishing it out. I think we're doing a great job here, that we have like a recording of every single one of our events. So we're documenting it in a video format as well as in writing. So that is probably like a really exciting thing for like a research group as ours to do as well in the meantime. So that is good. And yeah, I shared the promotional messages and on X, and also I wrote like a blast to the registrants and the Luma event page, inviting them to both events. I copied the information that Dan wrote here with the links to the topics that we'll discuss in the upcoming event, the Town Hall event. I made a quick promotion in the Optimism Discourse forum post, and also shared it in Farcaster in the groups, the Optimism groups, Space, Optimism Fractal, Opstack, and so forth. And I attended the Eden Fractal event that happened yesterday. This document was written by Dan. But yesterday we covered it all, and the recording is coming out soon too. It's quite like very informative, and it answers like a lot of questions about the coming strategy. We're just brainstorming lots of ideas that Dan came up with on the back of the previous discussions that we had in terms of like where we're going with it in Fractal. So my contribution was that yesterday as Dan was going through the different intents, I was providing feedback and also asking questions to get the conversation going. Actually, not intents, but proposals. He had 4 or 5 proposals that we went through. So I'm sure he'll cover most of that, more of that. And I also shared the promotion in Telegram chats, the Eden Fractal Telegram chats too, and the Fractally Telegram chats as always. And this is it from me. Thank you. I'll pass it on now to Harvesto. Thanks for the claps.
Yeah, thanks, Rosemary. Hi everyone. Good evening. So what have I been up to this week? So this week I went through the OP contributor course. I've had it for a while on my to-do list, and I decided to go through it and finish up with it to also get the certificate. I think there's a certificate that comes with it. I wasn't able to finish it up till now, pretty much 85% complete. But like I said earlier, I've been wanting to delve deeper into the optimism ecosystem and learn more on how to contribute and be more active and help others to onboard. So this seemed like a good way or avenue to do that or learn how to do that exactly. So um yeah, then the next thing was that I created my super account. I don't really know the use cases for or benefits, but it was highlighted in the course, and I signed up yesterday, and we'll go through that and learn more about it or how to use it. So the Optimism contributor course had to do a whole lot with governance and retro funding and the rest of it, which kind of ties into the research work I want to do for Optimism Fractal, specifically the governance part. I really wanted to have like a general overview of how governance works in the optimism ecosystem before like delving into the nitty-gritties for niche communities like Fractal or Optimism Fractal or Eden Fractal. Yeah, so I also rewatched I think the first meeting I joined was on 20th November. I'm not really sure. So I also rewatched the recording to catch up on what Dan was sharing about retro funding and how it works. Concerning the I think the research uh grant application that Optimism Fractal is going for. Um, yeah, and I don't know whether this matters. We also retweeted Optimism Fractal tweets on X to create more awareness about the event. And yeah, if there's anyone in my network that wants to join in, they can join in as well. So I haven't started on the research proper because, like I said, I've been doing more of reading to better understand. And I think the next thing I would do would be to create an outline and follow up with Dan on the list and every single resource I believe I would need on the research. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Harvesto. Great to hear all your progress and really appreciate you exploring the optimism ecosystem in general, as well as Optimism Fractal and our governance processes and the mission and hoping to retweet and spread the word about what we're doing and so forth. So that's all amazing to hear. You still did have like a minute and a half left, so if you wanted to share anything else, then feel free. I'm also, by the way, while you're talking, I just put a couple links in the Zoom chat that I'll share now. The first one is community.optimism.io, which has a great overview of optimism governance in general with a token house and citizens house. Um, and then there's a whole bunch more links there you can find, but that's kind of like a good starting point basically. And then I also shared links to a article about fractal democracy and the Optimism Fractal Council too, which can also provide a good starting point for the Optimism Fractal governance and looking forward to collaborating with you and taking the next step. So feel free to reach out. I'm also planning to follow up about the stuff we talked about last week too. But appreciate your patience there and looking forward to collaborating and really excited to see all your progress. If there's anything else you want to add, then feel free. Otherwise, I can go next whenever you're ready as well.
Oh, okay, none for now. Just glad to hear more about every other person's contributions.
All right. Sounds great. Love to hear it. Putting up the heart. Great to see. Okay, put the two hearts. Rosemary's putting on. Something I love is infectious, I guess. And Will's doing it too. Here we go. Or maybe I'll do it too. I might as well while we're at it. And I'm gonna put the pressure on Abraham here. Abraham's gonna be like, I gotta put up heart. Just kidding. There he goes.
Where's the heart? Where's the heart?
Yeah, the hearts are all around you now.
I don't want to be the rude one.
All right, we got some love here. The heart is kind of a metaphor with respect to. I don't know if people have noticed, but we have the respect game logo. There's a heart in there, a heart in the apple. Pretty interesting. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share what I've been doing to help optimism. I'm Dan Singjoy, and I'm going to share what I did to help optimism this week. So I have this little slide, which is too much text for me, and I want to update it, but I just wanted to provide a little context that I'm working full time in the space, leading several communities and doing lots of coordination behind the scenes with Optimism Fractal, Optimism Town Hall, Optimistics, Eden Fractal, and Eden creators. You can learn more on my website, dansingjoy.com. And lots of, so I'll share like highlights of what I've been up to shortly this week, but just in general, always putting a lot of work into hosting and facilitating these events and working with developers like Tadas and also like Abraham behind the scenes on helping to coordinate that development efforts and collaborating with Rosmari on the community growth and marketing efforts and constantly developing the websites in the background as well. Plus, doing a lot of fundraising efforts and campaign development for fractal democracy and fractal decision-making processes on the Superchain, and doing lots of private messages with people who are interested in these as well. So now here are some weekly highlights. So I'll start off with my town hall work. So I put up this post in the governance forum about Optimism Town Hall that provides an overview of the topic proposal that I made that was approved, the new topics that are up for voting, the article with topic details, and article about 2025 planning. So I created this topic proposal for Optimism Town Hall. It's a lot of similar stuff to what we had last week, kind of following the same format, but just updated it and update it with kind of an introduction to what we discussed last week to help set the stage for this week's town hall. Basically, what this is proposing is to do OP topics, and so we'll do that afterwards during the town hall session. And I also worked for a while after last week's event in improving this article. So I created this article last week about Optimism Fractal and Town Hall 2025 planning, strategic evolution. I created before the event last week, but it was kind of a quick draft, and now it's much more evolved, including the video from last week where we did a full walkthrough of this article, as well as had lots of community feedback and discussions and so forth. So I refined this article and then I shared it in the Eden Fractal or the Optimism Fractal Discord rather, as well as on the Governance Optimism forum, Optimism Governance forum. So that provides an overview of some plans for 2025 that we can get into. And then I worked a lot, as Rosmari had said, on growth strategies for 2025 for Eden Fractal, but Eden Fractal is really working to support all fractal communities and communities that are implementing processes like the respect game. So this is quite related. Eden Fractal is also working on deploying on base too. So that's part of the strategy that Rosmari shared in this document about deploying the ORDAO software that Tadas has been building on base, and then working to help all fractal communities grow on the Superchain. And so all sorts of stuff here. The one that Rosemarie shared, the one that I have right now, is actually one that I wrote a couple weeks ago, and I did some updates to that, but then I figured it was helpful to make a new article as well. So we went over both of these. I hosted the Eden Fractal event yesterday and put out a little promotion for that, put together this image, and then worked a lot on this article for refinements for this 2025 strategy. It's just there's so much here that I figured it was helpful to make another article or document itself, and this one had 5 new proposals. I had I talked with Tadas over the past couple weeks about his idea for higher order fractal, establishing like a fractal of fractals using the ORDAO software. So that was part of it, as well as figuring out plans for retroactive distribution framework for Eden Fractal, since we hadn't been playing respect games for the past almost a year at Eden Fractal, but we're going to start doing those again on base. And then strategic approach for higher order fractal retroactive recognition, and plans to start bi-weekly respect games at Eden Fractal to advance governance, coordination, and public goods, implementation of a higher order fractal using kind of retro polls and retro pitches and stuff like that every couple months maybe, and a third core intent. So basically trying to um, figure out how to best position Eden Fractal to support Optimism Fractal and support all communities on the Superchain with these respect games and decision-making process and so forth. So a whole lot of details here. This document is very long, and there's lots of details about each of the proposals here, which I see Tadas gave me some feedback on, which is nice to see. So we had a great discussion. I really thank Tadas as well as Rosmari and Gudasol for participating and sharing their thoughts here, and we can go into more details about this. But the higher order fractal stuff is really exciting as well. In addition, I also applied for Octant Epoch 6 as well. Octant.build is where you can learn more about this great public goods community. I have a Notion project here. And then, well, this guy, Paul from SimScore, I did some research into his project. He says he loves the Respect game. I'm meaning to follow up with him. So that's really cool to see people finding the Respect game and enjoying it. And he's building some really cool tools. And then I made a very detailed proposal. I want to make like a shorter version of it too, but a detailed proposal for Octant Epoch 6 for raising funding to support all the work that the Optimistics team is doing, as well as generally the communities that we lead with Eden Fractal, Optimism Fractal, the different tools that are being built. So there's a very comprehensive proposal here. Very, very comprehensive proposal with lots of stuff that we're planning to do. So that's my 5 minutes. So I think that I'll wrap it up in just a moment, but I'll also mention briefly too, I did create a FRAPPS repository that pulls together or curates all the repositories of different fractal apps that developers are building in the community and put that in the Optimistics place. And I made some updates to the Fractal Democracy article, and I researched the Research Hub after Abraham reached out to me, and some really cool stuff going on there. Building on base too, by the way, I believe. So that's it for me. I see Rosemary, thank you for the little claps. And Rosemary shared a link inviting everyone to log into the Respect Game app that Abraham has been building, and also sharing a link to the strategy doc. Thanks for sharing that, Rosemary. If anybody had any questions or comments related, thanks for the claps, Abraham. If anybody had any questions or comments for anybody that would help you reach consensus, then feel free to ask now or share your thoughts. And also, please do join that link that Rosemary just shared so we can start reaching consensus whenever we're ready in the app. I see Harvesto raise his hand. Harvesto?
Oh yeah. So I saw earlier that you posted a couple of topics that we could discuss on, I think for the town hall, and it's up for voting. So I wanted to know the voting process. Like, does it happen on Snapshot? And like, how do I vote?
Yep. So good question. It does happen on Snapshot. There's an Optimism Town Hall snapshot, which if you saw it where I shared it in the Discord or somewhere, then it's most likely linked there. And then the way it works is that every Monday at 17 UTC, whatever topic has the most votes is the topic that gets discussed. And so I created one poll that I think is over by now, just to decide that will choose topics according to another process called OP topics. And there's a poll there, and also in the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space. It's called Let's Play OP Topics. And in there's about 10 different topics that are on the agenda that are live for voting right now. So if you go to the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space and you go to the topic that's called Let's Play OP Topics, then you can use your Optimism Fractal Respect tokens as well as OP tokens there to vote on the topics that you'd like to discuss. And if there's anything else you'd like to discuss, then you're also welcome to make a proposal on the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space as well. And basically the way it works is whichever topic gets the most votes is the topic that we discuss. And we also have some systems to move between topics too, if we'd like to.
Okay, that's cool. Like, do I need tokens to vote, or is it tokenless? Tokenless voting.
You need a minimum of either like one Optimism Fractal Respect token or one OP token to be able to vote, I believe. And then,
Okay.
yeah. And you should have those because they get distributed every week and you've earned respect now at least one time. So I'm not positive that has been distributed as of this week, If not, then it will be distributed next week, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to vote on the polls now. And Rosmari just shared a
Okay,
link, by the way.
awesome. So, I should just is there a way to check like through the wallets I used for voting,
How do
like
I?
to check whether I have the respect tokens, like on optimistic scan or you know.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. If you go to the optimistic the ether scan, or if you go to another one like block scout, if you go to any block explorer and you go to your account, then your optimism fractal respect token should show up there, and they're called OPF, so you should be able to see that in your account, whichever block explorer you use.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's get right to voting then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sounds good.
One other way you can check too is if you just go to the snapshot page and log in with your wallet, you'll be able to see if you have any of the tokens. It kind of there's a column on the right hand side and it shows all the different topics you can vote on, and at the top it shows you how many voting tokens you have.
Yep, that's right. Okay, I see there's section 63, and it looks like there's already been 2 votes cast by 5 attendees. So if everybody is in the room and wants to start voting, then feel free. Okay,
Seems like it
so
worked faster than the last time I played. That's good.
seems like it's working pretty good. We have 5 votes cast. We have 40% of the votes for Abraham and 60% of the votes for Will. So would anybody like to advocate? We need 66% consensus in order to move to the next level. So we're not quite there yet. Everybody's deep in thought here. I suppose I can go ahead first and share my thoughts. I voted for Abraham. I think what Will is doing is amazing as well, and I'm really excited about all the events he's been hosting, all the progress he's been making with various communities on the Superchain. I voted for Abraham. Largely, I mean, I'm really excited about all the development that he's doing with Fractogram and according to Tadas, and that's like super, super helpful for Optimism and for Optimism Fractal. But I voted like the main reason why I put Abraham in the top there was for the his interactions with Research Hub because while looking into that, like I was looking at the website, there's so Patrick, who we spoke with, I think he works pretty closely with Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, and you look through the website and you have like Tim Ferriss and Lex Friedman and like all these amazing like top people who are like Research Hub can really change the future of science and can improve all these problems with science, and they're operating on base, and the fact that he's interested in the respect game and plus what all they're doing, I think that's really potential for amazing collaboration, plus really hopeful to spread the word there. So that's why I voted for Abraham in short. But like I said, also I could change my vote to Will too because Will's doing great stuff as well, and really appreciate both of you guys. Will putting up the heart. So, but we're still at 40-60. So does anyone want to change their vote, or should I change my vote to Will, or anybody can change their vote for themselves, or anybody want to share anything?
I think the only thing that I can add there is just that I haven't gotten any of the new respect tokens yet. We did switch over to the new kind, right?
Yes, we're now
Okay.
using the Respect 1155 tokens that are deployed in
Okay.
ORDAO.
Yeah.
I guess Abraham wants to get some of those new Respect tokens from what I'm
I mean, I can't
from what
help
I'm putting
it.
out there. Okay, well,
I
but
I did actually vote for Will though because I think that his impact in Latin America, the trifecta of Let's Grow DAO, AF Media, and Pizza ZAMA is really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pizza. The event was called Pizza ZAMA because that's a cultural reference here locally. But it was Pizza DAO was one of the co-sponsors. Yeah.
yeah, cool. Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. And I'm also loving the, some of the pictures from Tulum, and it's cool that you're doing um, events that are in different places. I really hope we can all kind of get to one of these and help support you.
Yep, that'd be super cool. Okay, well, I'm happy to switch to Will then in that case too. Abraham, you'll still get you'll still get some of that sweet new respect tokens as long as we reach consensus. So
It's all good.
okay, and let us see. So okay, yeah, it always takes like a second or two to say consensus reached, but now it says consensus reached. I guess it has to like pull the database in the background or something like that.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone. Thank you, everyone. In person, bringing people into Web3 is, I would say, probably about as challenging as dev work. And last week I was in a dev war room was my breakout room. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, Will. Sounds good. And yeah, bringing people on to Web3 is very important. We have a whole world to bring on just about basically, and time is short.
oh, nice. It looks like the vote reset didn't carry over. So is everybody else seeing that too?
Yep, that's true. Looks like a
Yep,
little
yep.
improvement we got there.
Oh, thank goodness.
Just from the Abraham says, I got the feeling that that was that wasn't like an easy fix.
It was a lot harder than it seemed. It's just weird. So
Yeah,
the reason that things take a second is because I'm verifying both on the front end and the back end. Because if we start using this with a lot of people, I've verified the fact that you cannot fake it. Like you can't pass a fake request to the back end and say, oh, well, just add some votes for so and so. Like it won't allow you to do that. So that's
right.
the reason it takes a little longer.
Okay. Yeah, I
All right.
heard you designed this to be quite secure and work quite well. So love to
Yeah,
hear
trying
that.
to.
Okay, we have 4 votes out of 5 so far. So one person yet hasn't voted. I see Harvesto put in the chat a minute ago that I guess this was the past round that he voted for Abraham and didn't want to change his vote because he's prejudiced to research work for the client base. But thanks, Dan, for switching your votes. My pleasure. Yeah, Harvesto, you might be interested in Research Hub too, Harvesto. I don't know if you're very familiar with it, but we're gonna do some great collaborations, I think, with the Optimism Fractal research, and yeah, we can also discuss the Optimism Fractal Respect game mission research that I got too. Got a bunch of researchers over here. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're still missing one vote. So is anybody who hasn't yet voted who wants to vote? I think we have consensus on Abraham mostly, but I guess if somebody votes for me, then we wouldn't have consensus.
I voted.
I did too.
Okay,
Did
me
anybody
too.
not vote? Because it's possible it's an application problem.
Maybe Rosmari Harvest, did you vote? Uh, I know Abraham was
Yes, I did.
okay. I think it's just Harvesta. Harvesta, if you can hear us, if you could vote. I think Abraham's planning to add a feature where you can like just go to the next round if you because right now I think that the way it works is that I guess the way it works is that you can't like move to the next round unless you have consensus. But
Correct.
here in this case, like we have 4 out of 5 votes. So we have 3 out of 5 for Abraham. But no, we have 3 out of 4 for Abraham. And we have okay, so now somebody voted for Abraham. So now we can move to the next level, that means.
Yeah. I think the only issue there is just that I think it's taking into account the number of people who are voters, and it doesn't want to like give you the opportunity to go forward if it's just like 2 out of 6 or something like that. Or yeah, or maybe I guess it would be anyway. We probably should work on that a little bit and make sure I'm in sync with you, Dan.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Look forward to it.
I think it was a network issue or probably from the site because I was clicking whoever I wanted to vote for, and it already showed me the circle that it's selected, but it was showing 4 out of 5 votes cast. So it could be the site or network.
Possible.
Okay. Well, good to know. Getting
By
some
the way,
feedback.
I'm interested in the research hub. Um, yeah, I I think I have gone on the website because I've been into DeSci for the past 1 year plus. I was in their Discord for some time, so but I couldn't really wrap my head around it. I thought it was for specifically for DeSci scientists. So, but I would love to learn how I can or how we can collaborate with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a Discord channel that's open too, and they have a weekly kind of AMA, so you can listen in and kind of hear what's new and what's going on. The Discord is on the Research Hub website, so I would definitely say get in there, and that can help you kind of start to learn what's going on.
All right. I see Rosemary has sent the link. Thank you, Rosemary. We'll check it out.
Cheers, Mary.
Yep. And it looks like I have consensus for level 4. So thanks everyone. I appreciate it. And that means we can move on to voting for level 3 between Rosmari and Harvesto. So far, there's 4 to 5 votes casted. And it looks like there's consensus for Rosmari. Okay, so that's the respect game. Thanks everyone for playing. We'll all get respect for reaching consensus if we post those results into the FRAPPS interface. She is super fast with the links, yes. But much respect to you, Harvesto, as well, of course. We'll all get respect here and really appreciate
We're
all
still
the
getting the
research and support you've been
duplication
doing.
error too.
Yeah,
I'll fix that and send the link in the chat with the correct addresses for each level.
Gracias.
sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, thanks a lot. And Rosemary's fast with the links, so I imagine she's done now, right?
Rosemary has links. By the way, can you guys start tagging me in the photos on the post from the Optimism Fractal account or the Optimistics account, either one? Because I'm not seeing your content in my feed, and I don't know why. And I do desperately want to engage with it, but I've got so much on my plate right now that I can't always remember to do so. So that would be helpful if you guys can start doing that. Whoever's posting that.
We need to get you an agent, Will.
An AI agent?
AI agent, yeah, that's right.
You know what I want an AI agent for? I want an AI agent to summarize all my emails I receive on a daily basis and produce me a TLDR.
Yeah.
I think there's probably products that exist for that. Actually, I saw a Notion AI or
I
Notion has
didn't.
email that does that now.
Okay, I didn't see anything like that like 6 months ago, but you're probably right. By now we probably do.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
eh,
she's asking tagging on the image or tag your account as a comment. No, in the image itself, Rosemary. That'd be
okay.
great.
Well, sounds
I
great.
don't see it in my notes.
Will, I think Gemini, Google's Gemini can help with that, but you would have to get the premium version because that's what I
Mm,
use. I've tried out the summarized email. Uh, yeah, but I don't know the capabilities, whether I can do for multiple emails or just for one email at a
yeah,
time. But it does help.
I've got enough premium accounts right now. Try and squeeze
Okay.
another one in my limited budget for the company. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, but I appreciate the insight.
Oh, okay. You're welcome. Sure.
Yeah, I think that one runs 16 or 18 bucks a month. I was just looking at workspaces, Gemini.
Well, I already have a workspace account, so I wonder if it's included in that setup.
It's not. It's an add-on.
Oh my gosh.
Surprise.
All right. Well, thanks for the interest in seeing the content and helping us spread the content, Will. Much appreciated, as well as Harvesto mentioned it before. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck with your email, but at least we can take a little bit of load off your plate with that, maybe. And speaking of AI agents, I was listening to some talks. There's a AI agent recently that has like a crazy story that coming up on Bankless. I don't know if time has time to get into it, but there's AI agent that has like a token with like $1 billion market cap, and it's really weird. It's really interesting. I see. We are a couple minutes past the top of the hour, so we can get started with the um town hall whenever we're ready, and I'm ready to go. Although I did just see Rosmari's tagging me. She's having an error with the FRAPPS website. Um, I do see an error with the FRAPPS website when I click on it and it's open in a browser that I'm not logged in. But the way that I understand it is that as long as you're logged in, if you open in a browser where you're logged in to MetaMask, whatever other account, then it will work. Okay, it looks like Rosemary's on that now. So yeah, if anybody has any other thoughts about respect game or anything else, then feel free. Otherwise, we're ready to get into the town hall whenever we're ready. For anybody who can stick around, we'll be going for another half hour or so. We'll see how it goes to discuss this. But I see Harvesto raise his hand. So Harvesto, what's on your mind?
Yeah. So I have some feedback concerning the voting. So I mentioned earlier that I voted for Abraham and for the first round, and I was actually looking forward to voting for Will as well, but I think I forgot that whoever or for each round or the next round, the person with the top votes doesn't their name doesn't pop out for the next round. So that's kind of something that I think a newbie or a beginner should know or keep in mind because I was expecting to see his name and then give him my vote. That's real, but I didn't see that. So it was just surprising. And then I remember that that's how it works. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. Yeah, that's how it's meant to be. In that, say if Will gets level 6, then he's not eligible for level 5 anymore. So that's why his name gets taken off the list. But maybe you'd be good. Then this is like kind of it's a pretty early stage version of the Fractogram app that we have going on. And so in future versions, I'd love to see like a more, like kind of a tutorial or like some tips along the way that can provide that context and explain and walk through newbies about how it works. So that would be something that would probably be good to have in like a little pop-up box, something like that, as people are playing the game, so they understand what's going on there. That's great feedback. Thank you, Resto.
I actually remembered yesterday when we were playing it in real life. Mike is our friend, and he was also surprised that so that person disappears like from the voting, really? Not disappears, but we cannot vote again for the same person for the same level for the next level. That was something that I also remember that he brought up too.
Hmm. Yeah, for context, we were playing a respect game at the dinner table yesterday, which was lots of fun. So uh, lots of potential for a respect game to happen in all kinds of contexts, and it was a good time. And I suppose we are 7 minutes past the top of the hour. We haven't yet formally gotten into the town hall, so we could join. We want to welcome Kevin. Thanks for joining. Oh, Kevin's gone.
I
Well,
have to hop. I have to order a cab to get to the registration for Tulum Crypto Fest, but I got the link copied over to my desktop so that I can vote or push it on chain, the results on chain. So I'll be doing that soon.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Will.
All right,
And
thanks everyone.
we have a great day.
I will do my best to have the best day I possibly can, but I will say every day that I get to talk about Web3 is an amazing, fantastic day.
That's right. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All
I'll see you
right.
guys next week when I'm back in my normal confines.
Okay, sounds good. Looking forward to it. See you then. Enjoy Mexico.
Have fun.
Have
Yep.
fun.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, if everybody else can please remember to submit that on chain too whenever you get a chance. That would be appreciated. I see Abraham said he voted, and I suppose I'll just get into the topic for the town hall.